Canadians have been experiencing record prices at the pump, and those prices are expected to go higher. With us to take a look at energy prices in Canada is Dan McTeague, Senior Petroleum Analyst at GasWizard.ca. All yours, Dan.
Well, thank you very much for that again, Nima. Look, what a week. We've broken through all records as far as east to west, north to south in this country. And unfortunately, the message is not going to get any better. We've been warning for some time that Canada would face unprecedented price increases for all forms of energy, which would then make its way into everything else, including food prices. Now, while most opinion leaders don't like to talk about the reason behind it, much less be able to predict as we've done here, the reality is that much of this can be laid right at the feet of green policies and green schemes. And let me explain that. When a government comes out and says we're going to block pipelines in this country and we can't send a product that the world desperately needs right now, or when a government decides to put regulations and mandates in place to shoo away foreign investors, it's little wonder that you have some banks, and I give an example of National Bank of Canada, November 30th, saying Canada's lack of ability to attract capital, especially to its number one sector, is a very frightening prospect. And short of residential investments, Canada is actually losing the battle at attracting necessary funds to get itself out of this growth, out of this pandemic period, and get back on this path of growth to pay down debt. The more immediate problem is that we're seeing a Canadian dollar that is not responding in any way, shape, or form to the higher price of oil. And as a result, Canadians are not being properly shielded in the past when they were the petrodollar. And that's adding about 11 cents to the liter of gasoline. That alone, the result of driving away foreign investors and capital from our oil and gas sector. A lot of economists don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about it because I predict those prices. And because we predict those prices accurately, we also know what goes behind it. The second factor, no one likes to talk about it, carbon taxes. Yes, it's 10 cents a liter, like it or not, and HST on top of that makes a bad situation that much worse. So for all the folks out there who don't think anything of diesel and gasoline prices, wait till it starts to hit you in places that you can least imagine. Cost of transportation, the cost of doing business, public transport, the entire infrastructure of this country depends on affordable, reliable, available energy. And Canadian politicians have gone out of their way, most political stripes, to try to choke off this industry. And despite that sort of dire prediction, we're going to see another 3 to 4 cent increase on average this week. Oil's broken $92 a barrel, headed to 93. That means that we're going to see gasoline prices in places like British Columbia move to $1.75 a liter. It's $1.71.9 right now. Alberta, $1.47.9, again, testing all new highs. They've gone up 8 cents in the past week alone. Retailers tried to hold off, but didn't do very well. And had to throw in the towels. Ditto for Saskatchewan, where we're seeing 147 at many stations in Regina, Saskatoon. We'll see it, of course, in the rural areas as well. Manitoba seems to be the holdout in Winnipeg, but that should change this weekend, 146, 147.9. Ontario, look for prices to break over $1.60 a liter. Quebec, we're looking at possibly hitting towards $1.69. Don't think we'll hit $1.70. And of course, the Maritimes, with Nova Scotia having a bit of a gain with their cap and trade, might see a gasoline move to 156, 157, while neighboring New Brunswick will probably be in the 159, 160 range. And Newfoundland, unfortunately, over $1.70 a liter to $1.72 come Thursday and Friday under the regulated system. Doesn't really matter what it is. Do not blame the oil companies. I did that for 20 years when it came to other factors of trying to snuff out independent gas retailers. This has nothing to do with them, and this one is on us. When we want to vote for green policies and green schemes that are crippling Europe, that are making shortages in the United States, it's inevitable that Canada cannot come to the rescue. We have the potential. It's the third largest provable reserves in the world, but we can't get a product to market because we've got politicians in this country looking to shut down pipelines and destroy the infrastructure. Not just the infrastructure for oil and gas, but the infrastructure that supports all of our social programs. So these are realities. Canadians are going to have to make a decision pretty darn soon. Do they want inflation? Do they want a standard of living that continues to be eroded? Or do they want to get back to the good old days of responsible energy production, while at the same time ensuring that Canadians can make ends meet in a prosperous, enviable country? Nima, that's it for this week. It's enough said. Looking forward to next week, and fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be very expensive.
Lots to think about for this week. Dan, thanks for that. That was Dan McTeague, Senior Petroleum Analyst at gaswizard.ca.